Hi, welcome to my show. I have Patty Shaw as my guest today. And Patty is someone that I met at the Center of Enlightenment. I was a speaker there. I was invited by Reverend Barbara Yarnell. And she's also a speaker oftentimes at the Center of Enlightenment, and it's one of our favorite places. And we met there. And Patty is going to be doing a workshop for the Path of Consciousness this October. Hi, Patty.
Hello.
Yeah, you'll be doing a workshop called Wake Up Your Nature. I'm really excited about that because, as you might know, some of the ladies and I went to Columbia earlier, well, actually last month, and we took a walk around the trail, which that's what you're going to be doing.
That's right.
Yes, you're going to be taking them. And we had such an adventure. And we said, Patty's going to have to come and see. There's more excitement into this than we thought. So we had a lot of fun. So I know you're going to lead a wonderful workshop with that because also of all your background and your experience. So you are an author, you're an award winning author. One of your books is Healer's Almanac. Let me put the cover up here. Oh, this is your second book. Oh, this one is right here. And you co authored this book with your sister, you said?
That's correct. Yes.
Yes.
Jackie.
So I will now just let you tell me about yourself and your background with healing work and the kind of work that you do today as a result of all your past experience.
It's a long, long story, but I will make it quick. So, early on in my life, I was getting a divorce, becoming a single parent, and pretty much in charge of these two little children. And kids get sick, and I didn't know what to do with my son's repeating illnesses and many doses of antibiotics. So I went to the health food store. First time I'd ever been in a health food store, and the woman that met me there was wonderful. And she says, "Oh, your son has needs probiotics or something to help him with his gosh, I'm forgetting the name of it right now. But we get you can get a yeast infection from having too many antibiotics.
Mm-hmm.
So we got him on some probiotics and acidophilus, and he improved greatly. I'm like, I'm sold. So I started looking into other alternative healing practices, medicines, and I found out it's a huge undertaking. There's many. And I thought, you know what, I'd like to share this information. Actually, people need to know this information because if they strictly go with allopathic medicine, they might end up missing out on all the beautiful opportunities for healing naturally and bringing the body back into balance naturally. So I was hooked, and I started gathering information, and it said, well, this is a book. And I just kept on going. But because I can't do anything simple, I had multiple layers in there. So I added meditations, and I thought about what are the things that we are challenged with in our life. So I created meditations for everyone to work on how they handle responsibility, how to awaken up their passion in their life. So, people get a little bored, a little dull, and they don't feel passionate. So I included a meditation for that. And on I went until I had 12 of them. And I said, well, we could do an almanac, one meditation per month. So the book is very multi-layered. It's fun. It's full color. It's beautiful. All the meditations, I personified them with women who could be archetypes, like goddesses. So that's why I called it 21st Century Goddesses. Mm. And so I had a great time with that.
And, this is something I also learned over the years regarding natural ways to heal ourselves. And during the time that I was just discovering these options, what's out there, my mom came and moved in with me. And she has dementia, and at that time she wasn't able to walk. She had broken her hip, and then after surgery she was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So and I had a wonderful Native American nurse that was a nurse for over 40 years.
Isn't it great when those things work out?
Oh my goodness, she was amazing. She had with her help, I was able to take my mom down from 11 medications to
Wow.
4.
That's fantastic.
And my mom went from being kind of spaced out, basically because of all the medications that were going inside of her, to her being alert, being able to communicate despite her memory. But there's a lot of, she's more aware. The color came back to her skin.
Oh,
So
that's
yes,
great.
so you're kind this is the same story that you're saying, except it's with your children. When we, with people that we really love and care about, we suddenly start looking deeper into this, and we find that there are other ways. And my mom does get, have her doctor and all that, but we're also we have to be somewhat independent too of researching ways that work for us.
Yeah, that helps the doctors a lot when we're willing to take authority over our own healing and
Mhm.
contribute information. They can only do what they can do based on how we participate in our own healing. I know doctors love it when we do that.
Really, yeah, that's a good point, because yeah, relying on them is also frustrating, because then it becomes like you know, telling the doctor, I don't know what's wrong, what you're telling me isn't working. And that's really when we just kind of give our power away to one particular person, because we are the ones that we need to listen to our bodies, understand it. We need to know what kind of medications are going inside our bodies. And I love the fact that in your book you include meditations and address other aspects of ourselves, because these are all related, for our
They are.
healing. Yes, the lifestyle that we live really has a big impact on us. So my mother, when she was in a rehab center, she wasn't responsive. She was very, again, like she had. It seemed like she was almost, it was her time to go.
Mhm.
Well, what it was is there was a lot of confusion. She'd never been really outside her home. She doesn't speak English. She comes from a much older generation. So when she came into my home, she started healing because of the fact that this is the environment she's accustomed to,
Yes.
with family, cooking, children. And so between that and the wonderful nurse and understanding what medications work for her, all of these played a role. And so I like the fact that you incorporate these other factors, because they also have a lot to do with our wellness.
Absolutely. We have to move. We have to have joy in our
For
life.
sure.
We have,
Yeah, exercise.
yes, we have to eat well, have a
Mhm.
balanced diet. All of that plays into it.
Well, and what about the other book that you did with your sister? What is that about? I
Oh.
just learned about the fact that you had this book recently
I
when
know, I
was
surprised
inviting
you with
Yes,
that.
you did. What is that about?
Okay, well, Jackie and I learned how to do meditations with the Akashic Records. And the Akashic Records is a clearinghouse of information. It's considered another dimension. And so in meditation, you can stretch your consciousness and be in that dimension. And there's many references to it throughout many religions, very, very ancient religions. And we thought, well, this is cool, because when we're helping people heal and understand themselves and why they do what they do, we found that in the Akashic Records we could get to the point faster, quicker, cleaner, and accurately, and with honesty and truth from Spirit, from God. We have found people that just respond to it so well. So the Do-It-Yourself Akashic Wisdom book is all about helping people to connect with their own Akashic Records through a meditation, and then we give them lots of funny stories, anecdotal stories, funny things that we found, and just how people are. People are pretty funny, don't you think?
Well, yeah, you know what? Life, sometimes this is a problem. We sometimes take ourselves too seriously. We sometimes
True.
take life too seriously. And not that we don't have serious matters that we should take seriously.
True.
Especially when you're a parent, there's issues that you do. But then sometimes it gets to the point where it really takes the joy out of us.
I
We have
know.
to be careful of that. And so, but I would like to learn a little bit more about that. So you're saying the one book, how is it going to connect you to that particular, is it music? Is it sound healing? I'm just trying to understand, because it's honestly, it's new to me, and I'm very interested in it. Yeah.
It is a guided meditation that you can record it for yourself, or you can read through it and kind of peek and keep going and peek again. And anyway, we just give these step-by-step instructions on how to calm yourself, create a sacred space, and get into that deeper kind of meditating state, and then using pictures in your mind to step through a doorway, and with your intention, now I'm in another dimension and I am in my Akashic record room. And there in my Akashic record room are all the holy ones who want to help me. They know everything about me. They want to enlighten me. They want me to get through my challenges and learn my lessons. And then also there's these opportunities to enhance your skills and your talents. One of the examples we give in the book is, say you play the piano and you get to a certain skill level and you just can't quite get over that and get to that next piece that you want to master. You can meditate on that, go into your Akashic records, and maybe through creative visualization you invite Mozart into the room. And you say, Mozart, I'm having a hard time with this one piece. Can you help me out? And the subconscious really brings that in and can help you understand what you're missing in your musical abilities.
And you're saying that a person who reads this, then they can create their own guided meditation. So based on their need,
we wrote them. Yeah, we wrote the meditation is there, but it's open-ended enough so that you can put your own personal need in there.
Okay, I really like that. I know that. So I had my first introduction to this power of the subconscious mind was the book "The Power of to Your Subconscious Mind"
Brilliant.
by Joseph Murphy. I'm sorry, Joseph Murphy. And there were these meditations that you did that were very specific to your needs, and I really loved that. The only thing with it is that if there is something else more specific, if he's not providing, I mean, obviously you can just change the wordings, but I think that's very interesting that you would have it to where you can help people kind of do a self-guided meditation.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
everybody's talents are different, everybody's needs are different.
Exactly.
So, but he did try to cover as many things as he could, which was really wonderful.
Well, I give him a lot of credit because we have a lot of needs.
Yes, that's true. And so what I'd like to also for you to talk about is because of your background, again, because of your experience and what you write about, and when you were invited to lead the workshop at the Path of Consciousness, which is, again, for anybody who's interested to join, it's October 5th through 7th, and then they can just go to the pathofconsciousness.com to find more information. I'm really, like I said, I'm glad that you are leading this workshop, and
Thank you.
I will be on that walking trail.
And we won't get lost.
Again, yeah. Hopefully,
promise.
we'll have a.
I promise.
Yeah, we
We'll
have
have
the
a
right
plan.
leader. Okay.
We'll have acorns. We'll
That
have
would've-
everything.
I think that would have helped as a plan or something. We had maps, so we thought, that. But anyway, but we had fun. And if we get lost, there was always the golf carts. They drove us back. That was
Perfect.
That was fun. So the title of it is "Wake Up Your Nature." And of course, you chose that title and you described the workshop. And I would love for you to describe it a little bit about what you plan to do with people that are going to be
What am I
be
going
in
to
a
do?
little group. Yeah.
Yes. Well, we get pretty shut down when we're down and in our careers and working, whatever we're doing. And we can get pretty intellectual, pretty cerebral about life. And then what happens is our creativity gets a little squelched. So being in nature helps us relax. I mean, it's proven, it's been studied. You go into nature, you spend some time in nature, you get your feet on the ground, and your body really kind of knows what to do after that. It changes its rhythm, gets back into its natural rhythm. The brain starts to relax and soften, and we have that place in our brain where we solve our problems. We worry about our problems, and we can get in a loop. And that takes up all of our energy, or too much of our energy. So when you get out into nature, the brain does a reset. It's just a miracle how it happens. I don't know the science, but it provides us an opportunity just to offload all of that stress out into the trees, out into the earth, and we calm down, and we can actually tap into our joy. And when we do that, we can become more in tune with how we express our creativity. And so while we're on this walk, we're going to practice using all of our senses, tuning into nature. what do we see, what do we feel, what do we smell, and that kind of reminds our creative nature that, oh, it has a place in our life.
I'm sorry, I thought I turned off my phone. Okay.
It has a place in our life, and it's an important place, and it enriches us. You know, we come here as a soul to have a life and fulfill a purpose, and when we get really far away from that, we get sad and we get depressed, and we worry about things that we don't need to worry about, really.
Yes. You know, this is very important. For me, I do take daily walks. And partly it is for exercise because our body does need it and you feel differently afterwards.
Right.
But there's also a difference when you are walking outside than when you are walking on a treadmill,
That's
which
true.
I've done both. But especially there are times when I'll feel a little bit like suffocated by everything that I have, especially I work out of my home and with taking care of my mom, and my writing is from my home, most of my work. So sometimes, so I know when it feels like that, the best thing to do is just to step out, take that walk. That connection with nature, along with the physical activity, is really, I come back a different person. It's just like when I go into the yoga studio and I walk out, it's like, this is really a connection within yourself, with a higher being. And really that's what it is when you come in contact, or just seeing the birds, the trees, observing the trees, the leaves, whatever is going on, the squirrels. If we just give attention to that, and not even when you're walking, I know sometimes, and actually this happened to me before, but over time you really start to learn to surrender more into nature. Because sometimes in the beginning when I started my walking routines, I was still sometimes stuck in my problems in my head, because I can also be, overly intellectual, and that is really something that just, I mean, I believe in balance anyway. So anywhere that you live in too long, like being too emotional or too intellectual,
Right.
or whatever, or too even spiritual, you get stuck in the spiritual level and you never cook or any, and it's like, where's the food? So, yeah, right. We need to eat, right? So you need to be also aware of your physical world. And actually, if you think about it, see how even taking these nature walks is all a part, because it's physical. So you're physically touching the earth. You're seeing a physical tree, everything that's around you. You're seeing and it takes you out of sometimes your problems if you just observe that. And learn from the animals and whatever is around you. We take that so much for granted. It seems like we've gotten very distant from that, and people might understand like the seriousness of that, because when I used to travel, most of the countries I went to, there was a lot of walking outdoors. There was a lot of, there wasn't this just you get into your car and you literally just drive a block. Everybody was walking. And I think that does take stress off, because people didn't seem to have so much tension from my observation and in dealing with them. And they would just relax or stop somewhere, especially in Europe, stop for coffee, and it was okay to just stop. Whereas we feel like we're constantly on the go and we're timing ourselves. So nature,
Guilty.
yes, so yes, and me too, because we have to, in our environments, we have to remind ourselves to be out in nature, whereas with them, they're so part of it that it's not that hard. They have to remind themselves to work.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to get back now. So it seems like, but do you feel like we're kind of trying to step back into having that kind of healthy connection and relationship with nature?
I really do. There's forest walk therapy, nature walk therapy, ecotherapy. It's all the study of the benefits of being in nature. And I was thinking about, when I was growing up, my parents always took us on a vacation. We were either camping or, by the ocean. We were out in nature, and then we might do little touristy things. But yeah, we were spending most of our time outside, and it was to renew. We only did it once a year, but it's better to try.
But
and
you
get
remember
out.
it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If you participate with that with children, they remember.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you at least are doing your part. You know, we were at your workplace not long ago. Was it about a month ago we
Yeah.
met? again, because of the path of consciousness, I appreciate that you made your business available for our meeting. And then as soon as I walked in there, I'm like, oh my gosh, this smells so heavenly.
Yes.
So please tell us a little bit about your business and,
Sure.
how can people get their hands on the candles that you provide?
I would love to tell them how to get their hands on my candles.
Okay.
I work with my sister at Coventry Creations. We're in Ferndale. We've been in business. It'll be 26 years in August.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
we've been around.
Good for you that you could keep your business.
I know, right?
That's an accomplishment. Yeah.
We're over the danger zone, I guess.
Right.
So Jackie started the business when she was in her early 20s, and in her home, started making these candles that people could meditate with. And she included everything that was needed to support what they wanted to meditate on: love, prosperity, protection, spiritual cleansing. We have a little saying, we have a candle for that. Whatever your problem is, we have a candle for that. We have over 200 kinds of candles that we sell. I came on to the team 18 months into it, and by then she was ready to move everything out of the house into our first little factory. So what we do is we make intentional candles. People can use our candles to meditate with, to if they want to do a spell and create some sort of reality in their life, to create a job situation that they're looking for, to attract friends or love, to protect their home, protect their children. We really have put a lot of time and energy into designing many, many recipes where you get the candle, you buy the one that you like what it says on the label, it makes sense to you, you like the way it smells, the way it looks, and then you do a little meditation for yourself. And all you need to do is put in your own intention and your own energy, and voila, you've changed the course of your life, at least for that time that you're working with that candle. And hopefully it's a change that you can adopt and change your behavior and change your perspective in life, and just keep on going, and then get your next candle and then your next candle, and keep working on every area in your life that you're not happy with, you're not comfortable with, that you know you can improve. So we're helpers.
Yeah, and how can people get the candles? Is it something that they order online, or they come into the store? What's the best way?
Yeah,
or
we have
is there
both
different ways?
both opportunities.
Okay.
We have a store in Ferndale, downtown Ferndale, right on 9 Mile,
Mm-hmm.
really close to Woodward,
Mhm.
just west of Woodward. It's a cute little store. I just love
Yes,
it.
it is. Yes.
And then we have CoventryCreations.com.
Mm-hmm.
The name of our business.com
Mhm.
is how everybody does that.
Yes.
And they can order online, and
They
we'll,
can do
we'll
it
ship
online.
all over the world, and we have, and we still do. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. And it's very impressive that you said 18 months after she started in her home, she
Yeah.
got the place.
Yeah.
So
We don't
it
mess
was-
around.
Good for you guys. Is this the same sister that co-wrote the book?
Yes.
With you?
Yeah,
Wow,
we have
that's
done a lot together.
beautiful.
We've been on lots of adventures together.
That's very beautiful. Yeah. Makes it more special.
It is.
Actually,
It
yes,
is.
yes. And given with all the, the work that you do with your books, and obviously, and she was involved in the other books, so you guys are really into the healing. So it's the energy that you put into the candles, I'm assuming, or
Absolutely.
yeah.
Energy follows thought, and when you put the thoughts and your intentions into the energy, it becomes something. And so we're playing with energy all the time, and we like to teach through our products. So we teach people how to learn how to do that, how to make that part of their conscious awareness, that it's possible for them. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of our customers do understand it now, as we've been teaching for 26 years. But the new generation comes up, or someone who hasn't looked at a spiritual lifestyle or metaphysics, and they're just getting into it, and they said, I just found these great candles, and it's like, yep. And they can use those candles and the words we say on the label and all the information we give on the websites and that we write in our books, they use that to teach themselves on how to create their own reality, how to shift their life.
Well, do you have anything? Do you have another book? Do you think that you're working on, or is there something in your heart that you see coming up in the future?
I think I would like to write another book. I have some ideas rolling around, but nothing's landed yet. I'm really busy with the marketing, so I write every day, all day, and so maybe there's something in there. But I did have a little parable that kind of flew out of me one day. I was telling a friend a story, and I might put that to into a book. It was a really nice parable about death and dying and reincarnation, and it all just kind of flowed. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if it lands.
Yeah. Well, I know I enjoy reading your writing. I know you just submitted, we just published on the Path of Consciousness a story that you submitted about your mom, and that was a wonderful story. I
Thank
forgot,
you.
what was the title of it?
Love is where you find it.
Yes, Love is Where You Find It. That was a
Yeah.
very beautiful piece. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's on the website. So we only have a few minutes left, and so I, from, we talked about different things, and I guess for people that either not have might not get the book or might not come to the retreat, or even get the candles or anything, but if you can leave the audience with a gift of something that they could do at home, even with if they have their own candles or something that's already right now accessible to them, what would that one gift advice that you would give them?
I leave them with the gift of themselves. You always have yourself. You don't really need anything else. Except, I'd like to give one exception. You need God. You need a spiritual connection to, it doesn't have to be the word God. I'm exposed to a lot of different paths. So there's the universal life force, there's Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, there's just so many ways that people label their higher power. And all you need is yourself and your higher power and a willingness to grow and learn and let go of your pain.
Wow, I think that was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. I myself will carry that home with me. I never get tired of learning. I never get tired of, every time. This is why I interviewed people for over 10 years.
Wow.
Thinking that I was coming to it as a writer. Well, and I was, because I got to write about them afterwards. But every person I interviewed, I always walked away with the gift of how they did something. And always they had something inspirational or something to learn from their story. So I really thank you for coming on today and sharing your wisdom. You have so much to teach, and I'm very fortunate to have met you and the other ladies at the Center of Enlightenment. And I really look forward to your workshop. Again, if you guys want to get involved, you can come to the Path of Consciousness Spiritual and Writing Retreat, which is October 5th to 7th at Columbier. And then also check out Patty's books. This one, The Akashic Wisdom, and Healer's Almanac, Journey into Health with Wisdom from the 21st Century Goddess. I love it. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Weem.